In our civics textbook, we studied many of the chapters. Just remember, just give a look on these pictures. We may observe this picture relates to chapter on equality. Did you remember Kanta, a lady, in the chapter on equality? After that, second picture relates to Malini in chapter growing up as boys and girls. Next pictures relate to मार्केट. मार्केट्स वाले चैप्टर भी हमने किए थे. सो इन ऑल दीज चैप्टर्स वी ऑब्जर्व inequality, society and markets. This picture relates to Aman and Ranjan in Chapter 2, Role of the Government in Health. History is full of examples of persons who have come together to fight against inequality and for issues of justice. In this chapter, we shall mainly learn about some of the ways in which people have struggled against inequality. We have to unite it for equality. The Indian Constitution recognizes all Indians as equal before the law and states that no person can be discriminated against because of their religion, sex, caste, or whether they are rich or poor. All adults in India have the equal right to vote during elections, and this power over the ballot box has been used by people to elect or replace their representatives. Our representatives are MLAs, MPs. These are our representatives in our assembly, in our state assembly or in parliament. In Chapter 2, Role of the Government in Health, we studied about health services provided by government. And second was private services, public health services and private health services. The increasing privatization of health services and the neglect of government hospitals have made it difficult for most poor people like Kanta, Hakim Sheikh, and Aman to get good quality health care. In the story of Hakim Sheikh, we studied about Hakim Sheikh, and he could not get treatment due to lack of health services. He could not get admitted in any of the hospital. किसी भी हॉस्पिटल में उसको एडमिशन नहीं हो पाता, एडमिट नहीं किया जाता उसको. And all these peoples do not have the resources to afford expensive private health services like Aman. Aman and Ranjan were two friends. When they feel ill, they go to hospital, one in private hospital and another in गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल. अलग अलग हॉस्पिटल्स में जाते हैं और अलग अलग तरह से उनको वहाँ पर फील होता है. ट्रीटमेंट्स किस तरह का मिल रहा है. हु सेल जूस does not have the resources to compete with all the major companies who sell branded drinks through expensive advertising. Swapna does not have sufficient resources to grow cotton and so has to take a loan from the trader to grow her crop. अब स्वप्ना का जो एग्जाम्पल हमने किया था उसके पास क्रॉप्स के लिए पैसा नहीं है और उसे क्या करना होता है. अब पैसा जो है वो उसे इंटरेस्ट पे लेना पड़ता है. एंड जो जूस वाला जो एग्जाम्पल है उसमें क्या है कि एक कंपनी जो है वो अपनी क्या करती है, ब्रांड को प्रेजेंट करने के लिए अच्छी पैकिंग बनाती है. एंड जो सिंपल एक रेडी वाला है, एक शॉपकीपर जो है वो इतना प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं कर पाता अपने जूस की. Swapna does not have sufficient resources to grow cotton and so has to take a loan from the trader to grow her crop. And due to this reason, due to this force, to sell her cotton at a lower price. Melanie, like the millions of domestic workers across the country, is forced to endure the insults and hardship of working as a domestic help because she has no resources to set up something on her own. In all these conditions, we may observe poverty and the lack of resources continue to be a key reason. Due to this, many of the people's lives in India are highly unequal. काफ़ी ज़्यादा जो है अनइक्वल कंडीशन उनको फेस करनी पड़ती है. On the other hand, the Ansaris were discriminated because they belong to a caste, a particular caste. They were financially fit, they have money to pay rent, but they could not get any quarter or any residential areas to live in. कहीं पर भी उनको मकान नहीं मिलता. They were not able to find an apartment for over a month. Second example was Om Prakash Valmiki. To sweep the schoolyard was because he was Dalit. पूरा दिन उसे स्कूल के यार्ड में बैठना पड़ता है. And we read about the work women do is often considered of less value than that done by the men. Inequality in the functioning criterias, in the working hours and working wages. मैन एंड वुमेन की जो वेजेस थी वो भी हमने डिस्कस की थी. नेक्स्ट हेडिंग इज स्ट्रगल्स फॉर इक्वालिटी. We have many examples of such people who fought against inequality. Throughout the world, in every community, village, city and town, you will find that there are some people who are known and respected because of their fight for equality. They may be well respected because they treat all persons with dignity and are therefore trusted and called upon to resolve issues in the community, and they are serving for society. In India, There are several struggles in which people have come together to fight for issues that they believe are important. In chapter 5, we studied about the methods used by the women's movement to raise issues of equality. Tawa Matsya Sangh, one of the organization for workers, who fought for workers. Tawa Matsya Sangh, in short form we may say TMS, in Madhya Pradesh is another example of people coming together to fight for an issue. There are many such struggles, such as those among beedi workers, fisher folk, agricultural laborers, slum dwellers, and each group is struggling for justice in its own way.